Thanksgiving has traditionally been a holiday for labor, something that allows people to be grateful for the ability to work so hard and having successfully worked so hard. So it's interesting in this modern day and age that Thanksgiving has now become more of a consumerist type of holiday. Basically, everyone gets together, the family debates about what they need, and then they go forth and they spend a lot of the hard-earned money on Black Friday. Hey, I'm not gonna complain. I've done a couple years. I've had the luxury of doing such things for a couple years. But I wanted to talk about the concept of gratitude today for our ability to work. There was a book that I read a long time ago and that I skimmed through from time to time called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. He was an artist and a poet, very spiritual person. And in The Prophet, he said that to work with love, with passion, is a virtue, essentially. So how do we get to a point in life where we do consistently work with passion, with something that drives us, that moves us forward in our lives? And also, when we wake up in the morning, that we're grateful that we're able to do work in that capacity of that kind. I think a lot of us go throughout life, thinking about, hey, how do I want to set myself up for a situation where I'll be a little bit happier in the future? And so some of us have parents or people that give us recommendations for careers that will propel us, that will put us in positions where we have a better understanding of what we're capable of and potentially some more self-esteem than jobs that are potentially easier to get than going to graduate school or whatever else. Many of us, however, don't have that opportunity. We don't have the role models. We don't have the people that are driven enough in our lives to actually go forth and capture those opportunities. In the end, we fall in the same situation. In the end, both types of people, and there's more, go down this kind of parallel road, and at some point in our lives, we think to ourselves, goodness me, I've been doing this thing for so many years. Why do I do it? What is it that really gets me excited about this thing? And I'd say the vast majority of us probably fall into a situation where we think to ourselves, my goodness, I haven't even thought about why I did this career in the first place. And I am going throughout my life doing this career because it's really all I know how to do and what to do. So I wanted to talk about two things that I've been thinking about in terms of dealing with that thought. The first being additive. So saying to yourself that you have this career, it has a variety of skills that are required and potentially some that you really genuinely enjoy building up in yourself. That mentality, saying to yourself that the skills, though the entire thing is not all that satisfying, but there are aspects of your career, aspects of the things that you do in your life that are satisfying, that are actually things that help you build up your confidence, your reserve. We can use that to pivot. And this is something that's frightening because there's a lot of risk that comes with pivoting. But life itself is pretty risky. Once you understand that, it kind of seems like a natural response to not being all that satisfied with work. It's figuring out, hey, these are the parts of my work that I really like. Okay, how do I find a career or augment this job so I'm doing that stuff more? I had the opportunity to talk to one of my mentors recently, who is an older doc, and he's like thinking about retiring, but he loves working, he loves mentoring people, and he was kind of searching around for something to do for a while, and people are always contacting him to get advice or be a part of their office or their workforce, and he finally landed on something that he actually really enjoys, which is mentoring. So he's a business mentor for people that own multiple practices, dental practices. And it was really fascinating to me to actually, first of all, him be a mentor of mine in school and teach me in a clinical sense, in a vaguely a business sense, but also to see him in a place in his life where he's really never been before. Despite being very specialized in his skill set, he decided that the part of his life that he wants to build out to enjoy the rest of is actually helping younger people get to the position that he was in life, to help them learn that there are intricacies in the business world that need to be learned over time. Now, you can use that as an example. I will say it's a difficult thing to do, because oftentimes we need a kick in the pants to do that. Losing a job, changing locations, maybe having a mental breakdown about not being all that satisfied at work. Whatever it is, it tends to be a pretty drastic step. The alternative is that you look at your work from a 30,000 foot perspective, meaning a bird's eye view. So prior to even getting a job, prior to even getting into things, you think to yourself sternly and soundly what it is that you want to get out of life. So the first example would be that you essentially follow a path, that we follow a path through college, through graduate school, through whatever is set in front of us. We get to a point, we think to ourselves, oh my goodness, I need to think about what I need to do with my life to be happier. The second step is for people that have the opportunity, potentially younger people, or people that have completely changed their life situation because of an injury, whatever it is. The second is a deep thought about what we actually want to do in this life, what we actually want to accomplish. And I've had some time in the last couple of months to reflect on this a lot, because I've had to deal with certain issues that have come up, and it's given me an opportunity to have some time. And time is really a fundamental variable that's required for the second approach, and one that actually, as I grow older and as I talk to more people, I realize might be something that a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do, so I want to discuss it. The second approach essentially says, hey, what is it in this life? What is it about being alive, waking up, working, that I really enjoy doing? And this approach is preached by billionaires. This approach is preached by people that are motivational speakers like myself, people that are free spirits, whatever it is. There is something genuinely enjoyable, genuinely satisfying about going forth and living your life in the way that you want to live it. Meaning choosing any career that aligns with your values and choosing a place to work that respects those values and you. We do need to build ourselves up in order to get there. We do need to start practicing the routines that allow us to wake up at the right time, that allow us to come home, take that rest, and potentially keep going. Things that keep us healthy, eating the right things, working out, right? Reading, training our mind outside of work. And these things, oftentimes, I've seen through observing many of my peers that were more streamlined in their approach and their education, that this is something that many of us, when we get into our careers, when we actually start moving up this ladder, that we believe we don't have the time to do. And I don't think that's the right way to go, to be honest with you. I really don't. Because at the end of the day, at the end of your life, you're going to look back and think to yourself, well, why did I make that decision? Or how did I feel? The memories that we have. And we might, in a situation where we didn't actually choose the trajectory, the momentum of where we're going, we might actually look back with regret. And now that is potentially 40 years of regret, at least, if you get to live that old. But something really, I mean, why would you want to do that? You know, I want to tell you that there's ample time in your life to think. And I'm coming from a place of privilege because I have ample time. But I'm also coming from a place of experience in that I have tried to spend my time as productively as possible. I try as hard as I possibly can to learn as much as I can, to find people that are wiser, smarter than me, and give them an ear for as long as they're willing to offer advice. I've tried to train my soul to be more spiritual, more patient, more understanding of different human situations, different personalities, different perspectives. So All of this for someone that is progressing in their career and believes that monetarily is the only aspect, the variable that matters in their career. You might think to yourself, well, this is a waste of time. I just want to go home and watch TV. I want to go home and hang out with my family, this and that. So be it. If that's your perspective, so be it. But if you're anything like me, I would recommend spending some time to think about it. Really think about it and start building up those habits so that when the opportunity does come your way to get into a career or a situation that aligns more with your values and your soul, that you're prepared for it. That's all I wanted to say. Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Smash that thumbs up button for me. It helps a lot. Throw me a comment. You can say Happy Thanksgiving. It helps. And then check this video out when I have a chance to post it. It's similar to this in a lot of ways. It's actually about the concept of gratitude and how important it is. This video was intended to be more about gratitude, but I have been thinking about career since change of situation, so excuse me. Anyway, actualize your potential, my friend. The world needs you. Take care.